Ndewo Igbo ekene mo na ekene nwoke ekene nwanyị ekene mo Okoro kene agboho ekene mo onye ọbụla na-ekiri m tata. I greet you and I say a huge welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, don't also forget to subscribe. We talk about Odinaani, Igbo spirituality, Igbo cosmology, everything Igbo, ihe ọbụla ndị Igbo. We try to basically explain to people about the Igbo spiritual system, our practices, from an indigenous perspective, from an Igbo perspective, and not from what the church said, or what my pastor said, or what the Bible said, but from how our ancestors, our Igbo ancestors, understood these things, the perceptions, the mindset, the intentions of how they understood their worldview back in the day, before westernization and colonialism and slavery, before they started having this Western interaction. So we know that now or currently, Odinaani, which is the Igbo spiritual system, is having this kind of a reemergence. People are waking up. Ndi Igbo, or not just Igbo people, but I think it's basically everywhere. Many people are waking up and they are questioning this Christian belief. They are questioning their Christian upbringing because it is not indigenous to us in this part of the world. So it has to also come with a little bit of friction. It is not a situation of this is what your father knows, or this is what the Bible said. No, many people are now questioning it because it is strange to us. Now, the same way people are now questioning Christianity and other belief systems that is not indigenous to us as Africans, the same way we are now even questioning and criticizing those indigenous belief systems in order to make it make sense. So that and the first one is the usage of Fanta in Igbo spirituality. Ndi Igbo. Now, the topic here basically is symbolism in Ndi Igbo. But this symbolism, I'm focusing on the usage of Fanta beverages, sweet beverages in Odinaani. Now, in Igbo spirituality, we have different kinds of rituals and rites that we perform when we want to basically talk to the universe, we want to talk to the cosmos, we want to be able to, through those rites and rituals, to manifest our intentions. Now, each of these rituals that we practice has its own items. If we want to perform Igo morning prayer, we use items like Nzu. Nzu symbolizes purity. So as we are using Nzu, we are saying that we are trying to manifest something pure into our life. Now by using that Nzu, to us, when we are throwing that Nzu, we are saying things like Okeke Onyowam bia manzu, Chim bia manzu, Ndi Ichie bia manzu, my ancestors, all those people, come and join me in this prayer. Okay, my father back in the day will tell you that if you want to collect something from your father, which is him, do you just barge into his room and say, Daddy, give me this? No. You would have to first of all knock. He will tell you, come in. You will come in. You will now greet him. You will now sit down. Try to you will now tell him what you want. So this is you going. But this one is that as Ndi Igbo, we sit down and we are calling on them to come and join us. Now, back in the day, when the family wakes up, everybody abana nnukwu obi. Ka abana nnukwu obi, nna nwono dibu no ebute okwo ji ebute nzu. Okpokwo ndị ichie gbacha obodo na gbachaze ndị ichie siwazi ha nekwe ya. Na chutu stefego kuna ya na ezinụlọ, me and my family, we are here. Now, once they start that process, then they use Oji Kola Nut to say what they want. And at the end of the prayer, at the end of the Ofo process, everybody will go to their work. Others will go to office. This SM office. People will go to the farm. But everybody will just basically face their daily activity. So when we're now talking about the usage of Fanta as this beverage Fanta, as an item or as an item for some of our rituals, like Ikpe Iloma, Ikpe iloma when it comes through the water or the marine spirits. When we want to visit Ikpe iloma na mmiri, we use the Fanta, that beverage. Or when you are performing your chi rite in your chi isirigi chi or idotu chi, you will still see this Fanta symbol coming into that process. Now if you go to some certain shrines, you will see them as again akwalaja, akwacha fodu aja, akwacha kwa mankwoku kwa unzu kwa edo, they'll bring unzu. You see kola nut inside that bowl. You will also see the beverage Fanta or any similar yellow drink inside that item. So why do we use that item? That's the question on the minds of everybody. Why? And the why there is because, back in the day, we will not say that our ancestors were using that particular beverage. So you will say it's something new, or there's something that they recently instituted, something they recently presented. So because of that, people are questioning the usage and the usage of it in these modern times. Because we're talking about Odinaani, we're talking about Odinaani, and it is far stretched into the Igbo ancient system. So why this Fanta? Now let me explain it based on my own knowledge. So first of all, I want us to understand what symbolism or language is. Now language is a structured system of communication that is done through verbal expressions or the use of signs and symbols. Now, every human culture is characterized to have a uniquely structured form of communication that can be expressed through oral sounds or through the usage of symbols to pass a certain message. Now, the usage of Fanta, we are trying to pass a certain message. We're trying to pass a certain message to the universe. But some of us don't really understand it as that way. Now, when we are using this beverage, the Fanta, what are we trying to say? What does it symbolize? What it symbolizes is ihe oto, sweetened goodness or goodwill. Kife oto batanandum. So when people or when traditionalists go into the water to perform their rituals on sacrifice, and they have these whole items, they have snacks which they are offering to the children that live within that water, or when they are using alcohol, they're talking to the elderly, kola nut to the elderly, the entities within that water, nzu edo. Now, when they're now using that Fanta, what it symbolizes is that they are using it to intercede for something that is beautiful and sweet and good into their life. Now, the same way they would use a wooden carved boat, obo, I say obo amala. Like if you go to these markets, to this shaman markets to buy things, you will see people saying is a carved. They carve it with this thing with wood. Although now they are now using the rubber toy cars to represent it, which is not good because those things are non-biodegradable. So we are polluting our water when we are using these kinds of items. Now, this is what it symbolizes. They're trying to say, when we are using that Fanta, this is what the Fanta primarily symbolizes when we add them as items that we use to perform sacrifices. So, now the second question that is being asked about this Fanta is that which materials that our ancestors used back in the day, because of course Fanta is a Coca-Cola beverage. It was imported. So what item did our ancestors used? Now, luckily for me, when I made this post on Instagram, Onyichie Ugezu, he made a comment. He said, yes, if they can find Oto, that our ancestors used that fruit, Oto. Now, some people will say we can use honey, manual. Some people will say get fruits, banana, pineapple, oranges, apples, even pineapple, oranges, banana, buy them, granite. Even granite, we use granite for sacrifices. So we even use that banana. But instead of using that drink, if you feel that it is not right, you can use auto, you can use your honey, you can use your fruits as a replacement for this particular beverage. Now, if it is obiarabia, why do we even use it? Why do we use it? Because we're talking about Odinaani, so we should basically talk about using things that are predominantly Igbo. We should not basically use things that are far-fetched, things that are imported. But why? And why is it? Because most importantly, it is not about us basically offering sacrifices with these items. But at the end of the day, we see people that said, oh, but the SN1, the Libya, used it to perform sacrifice for me and it worked for me. So it's going to be hard for you to convince a person and say, don't use Fanta. The person has performed that ritual and it works. So why is it that we use these items and the spirits accept them from us? Now, the reason why it happens is that what I eat is what I can give to my ancestral spirits and my personal forces. I cannot give them what I don't eat. I offer things that I eat, things that I like. Now, now, nsochi for some people could even include don't eat a certain food. It could be cassava, apple. It could be pork. It could be different meats or different food. Solo chigi. Personally, some people, even before they are telling them they have on such chigi, some of them don't even like it. Before Alpha says, Yoshi said, don't eat this. So and so. So you see that you don't offer things you don't eat to your ancestral spiritual forces. Rather, you give them what you consume. So because we drink that beverage, Fanta, and we offer it to children, and children like Fanta, children, Fanta, go heaven and earth, they like Fanta. They take it and they drink it as well. So because humanly we consume this product, we can use them to basically talk to our forces and they would accept it. Hagana Batanya. You're offering something, it's a gift. And a mother abu ihe mmadụ nyere n'obi ọcha. Unless onwere ihe melonya onye ajụ esemba no man nalege ya. So they will accept it. And if the situation where they do not like it, they will reveal it to you in your dreams. Again, on now, let go around meeting with so many items on now. Maybe for now, if you can now go meet her, that so that item kijinaka. Also, that item, I went to sacrifice Ibe Roma one certain time, and after the whole dream, I dreamt where I saw myself at the market purchasing cola nuts. Ojugo. I woke up from the dream and I called my mentor and said, but I dreamt where I was buying this cola nuts from the market. He now said, Ojugo. I said, I'm a mama on Gage, natural, so my net in more jugo now, more come to here. Or Simon Kimuja go take Georgie, non because I cannot go down to that river. It is fine, my mother's village. And I said, non go open to Nerefe. I said, okay, no problems. You see that correlation. And for some people, maybe they offer it, and in their dream, they will see the drink on the floor. The person asking, they say you should not bring this thing again. So when you're coming again, you know not to bring that items with you. So the answers to the question, let me list it out again. In case you don't want to use Fanta because you think it is wrong to use it, replace them with fruits or this auto or honey. Secondly, Fanta symbolizes Igo, sweetness. And we are trying to manifest sweetness into our life. It has a symbolic meaning. That's why Igbo uses it. Now the third question, which is if it is imported, why then do our ancestors accept it? It is because I am a representation of my ancestor. And as the representation of my ancestor, I can only talk to my ancestors based on with things I can find in my natural environment. If I go down to the streets, I can buy Fanta. It's in my natural environment. I don't go abroad, even though they're importing it, but it is within my vicinity. There is no shop around me that I cannot find Fanta. So that's why I can use them. Now, we need to also learn one thing, which is Ndi Igbo, we need to stop polluting our water. We need to stop polluting our water. These things that we put into these waters, they are rubber. Currently, most countries are now even producing technology that they will use to sweep their rivers and waters clean of tiny rubber particles and metals. Because these things that we are putting and pushing inside these waters, it would kill the animals that have that water as their natural habitat. Imanachi dozi nke gị na-emebi nke onye ọzọ. Ndị banye kwete ka ọ dị na mmadụ ka ọ dị na mmụọ. And I think one mmadụ emebu na nwa mmụọ emebu na nwa mmadụ. It extends to animals. That's why we have animals that we conserve. And when we conserve those animals, when we conserve those animals, we now call them sacred animals. And where taboos, nso, noche around it. The reason is so that we don't kill off our natural environment. Animals and sometimes ancestral spirits manifest themselves in the shape or in the form of those animals. So to avoid the madi ibukete gbuo ife okwesiri igbu obula aro dele obodo. I say again, don't do this. Because mama nke bụ nke. And you will not know until the problem materializes. Then you now know, oh, I'm not supposed to do this. Now, how do we now perform sacrifices with all those items? Instead of using this rubber bowl, choto oko is a wooden, is a clay pot. Choto oko, use oko, jire donye ifege ninja. Obolo nkata, okay, use nkata once upon a time and a dibia wine is a wine. Sim na nkata de yimmiri. Now you go for water rituals because you want to carry actually bully mana ijuzo nkata ikuti ife or your siamiri. So another they also said that you can use those raffia baskets. Use the raffia basket. So for that, we'll go a little bit of controversy. So personally, to me, I will be using my oko. At least it is clay; it would melt. Those rubber stuff. Now the snacks, the banana, the granuts, the biscuits. Remove them, untie them from their wraps, pour them inside that oko. Don't put those wraps inside that water. Pour them. If you want to kill an animal, we don't kill an animal that is being tied down. Now, you now want to give something, you will now also tie it in that nylon. No. Untie it, because the people that are supposed to eat that thing, but as on a miracle, now then when sometimes other one may watch it is now them that will now come and eat it. If they now eat it, their goodwill, chifa, and this is the rationale, this is the logic behind our sacrifices. And I say again the spirit and the material. It can't. It is what it symbolizes, the symbolic meaning of these rituals. This is what Ndi Igbo considers. So by the time you mechere, you will also then you were oji. ọ na-eji nkwụ dị na kọntena nkwụ tọpee ya kwụba okwu ị na-ekwu okwu ị na-enyefe ya na mmiri. Fanta gị ịgbapee ya don't put that rubber inside that water. Don't do that. Then pack those nylons, the rubber, the containers, pack them. We need to start taking care of this water. We need to start taking care of this water so that obule chini na nyanwe problem. Maka mgbe gboo no mmiri aka ndị gboo nọ na-aṅụ. Onwere ndị na up till now no mmiri aka ha na-adị echu aṅụ. So we need to protect, we need to treat it right. So the first time you're seeing me and you want to learn about my culture, Odinaani, Igbo spirituality, please join me, follow me, subscribe, follow me on all my social media. And if you have any questions that you want to ask, don't also forget to ask, because I'm there to answer you. And until next time, yagazie chuku gozie ge omaka mere ge ndu ge ndu nwoke ndu azu ka chuku mere onife ka chim na ndị ezumezu ka ha gozie unu ka ị na-ekiri ihe niile ndekwu ka ị na-esonyere m ka ị na-atụsa asị m ka chuku goziere gị. Until next time, yagazie.